going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a comparison and a small review of these 3 Todd McFarlane Batman figures. So as you can see, I got the Thomas Wayne Batman, which just newly came out with the Arkham Knight Batman, and then we have the Arkham Asylum Batman. Now, towards the end, I'm going to tell you which one's my favorite and why. But, of course, feel free to put your opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new here. And hit that bell for notifications. Anyway, let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with the Arkham Asylum Batman. Now, I'm going to do a comparison here. I'm going to start with the size. Now, the size on both of these guys are a little shorter. Not much, but they're a little shorter than the Arkham Knight Batman here in the middle. They come with similar stuff. The Batarangs obviously different than this Batarang, and I'll do a close-up on those here in a minute. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and start with him. So as you know, they all come with the same DC stands. So he's been out for a while. The funny thing is when he did come out, I thought he would have been a big seller, but every time I go into Walmart, I always see him and the Joker, which I also have. And I was a little surprised to always be seeing his availability, which is nice. He's a great figure. This one, he's still a little stiff there. Got the butterfly joints, of course. So I'm gonna go with the sculpt. The sculpt is pretty accurate to the game. Actually, this whole thing is, I would say, 100% accurate to the game. The cape, is pretty accurate, and if you ever played the game, he does have this kind of wet, glossy looking material. When you're like crouching over, it's a super long, and so he got the material pretty down. His gauntlets here, they're pretty long, so they bend. But comparing it to the Arkham Knight Batman here, he's just a little bit shorter. I'd say he's the same as the Thomas Wayne Batman here. And that's, I'm not including the ears. The ears don't count, but head, yeah, they're about the same. So it's actually, it's kind of odd because the Thomas Wayne Batman was always the bigger Batman. I always thought he was a little more taller than Bruce, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, these are the top 3 Batmans he's come out with so far. I'm looking forward to the new Batman, not his particular version that he's coming out with, his own design, but the one with the metal Knights Batman with the trench coat and the sickle. I think that one looks pretty cool, but I have yet to see it in stores. I hear it's out early. A lot of things are actually out early. It's getting pretty gruesome out there looking for these figures, especially with your Walmart and Target sites not ever being updated. So you look on there and they have a quantity of 2 or 4, you can go in there and they have 0. So that's always the fun part. But anyways, this is what we're looking at here. The belt here is more of like a bronze sort of gold paint on there, which is cool. And on this Batman, it's more of it's a light, like kind of like a light gold, almost a yellow. It's not exactly yellow, but I'll take the stand off. I'm actually going to take this out. Another thing is the hands are very stiff, so the battering doesn't quite fit in there very good without working with it for like 10 minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and put the batterings here. Where's the battering? He comes with the explosive gun, which, as you know in the game, if you ever played the games, he shoots like this plastique stuff on the walls, and you explode it to go through and, you know, continue on with the mission or whatever it is you're doing. You use it at various times in the game. So I like this particular one. I like the armor. The detail is really good. You can see the underneath material he has underneath the armor. The shoulder pads are rubber, so it moves with the shoulder. Same thing on the other side. I like the spikiness of the ears. They're let's see, as you can see on the Arkham Asylum figure, they're just a little bit thicker and they bend in a little bit. Now I think they did that in the game. I can't really recall. I can't really see. I don't have a cover near me, but I think they just bend a slight bit like this in the game. So yeah, there's that. Another thing is it could be just because it's rubber and it got heated up a little bit and it just bent because of the material. So what I noticed about this Batman is that, well, I'll show you here, stand him up, is he doesn't have a torso rotation. He has a waist rotation, as you can see there. Now that's different than these two Batmans because they have the torso rotation, as you can see right there, towards the top abdomen, as well as Thomas Wayne here. He has the same thing. I thought that was interesting. That's the first figure that I've seen so far where he has the waist and it's solid up here. So I thought that was pretty neat. I don't know why that is. Oh, hey, get back up there. It's actually funny because the cape is so long, it pretty much just stands him up. So I love the detail on this figure, and it was funny because I was at a GameStop, and he's harder to find at the GameStops, but I recently just went to a Target and it had like 4 of these Arkham Knight Batmans, and I'm like, well, it's the first time I've ever seen it at Target, and they have like 4 of them. Another Batman that, you know, I don't really hear much about this Batman. I've hardly heard anything about it. I know he came with the Deathstroke figure. That is another figure that's hard to find. I have not been able to find it. But when I do, believe me, I will be reviewing. And so anyways, I can't find a Deathstroke along with the Red Hood figure that they've come out with. So those are the 2 hardest ones. I do, however, have the Flash. I'm thinking about reviewing him. I probably should because he's one of the coolest figures Todd's come out with thus far. But anyways, back to Arkham Knight Batman here. He's got definitely, you know, has the double joints and everything on him. I'm going to go ahead and take this explosive gun out of his hand. the face sculpt is really good. I'm gonna say it's even better than the Arkham Asylum Batman. But at the same time, the graphics progressed with each game, and this was the last one to come out. And so the armor got more detailed, and I can't remember. I don't think Kevin Conroy voiced Batman in Arkham Knight. He definitely didn't voice him in Arkham Origins. That was a totally different guy, because I think he was playing a younger Batman in that one. But Arkham Asylum and Arkham City was definitely Kevin Conroy, and they kept those same features here. And as you can see, the eyes pop out more on this sculpt than they do in this sculpt. So as you can see, this is like more of a video game looking sculpt, as this is more of a realistic, detailed sculpt. And another thing is the cowl is, it has this neck piece here, which reminds me a lot of the Christian Bale Batman suit neck piece, because he complained about not having any rotation in the neck. That's why they changed the suit in the Dark Knight from the Batman Begins suit. Just to throw that in there. So definitely more detail in the Arkham Knight Batman. So I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. This is really just your basic Batman, which is fine. I mean, it's a really nice Batman. In fact, before Thomas and Arkham Knight Batman here came out, this was actually I thought the best Batman he's come out with so far. But then he came out with these two, so that kind of like exits him out. And I wanted to show you the two Batarangs here, the difference. So this is the if I get my camera to focus. Oh. Well, anyways, I'll get there here in a second. So you can see this one's gray. It doesn't have a bat symbol on it. And this one is black. And it does have a tiny bat symbol on there. This one's a little more thicker than this one is here. I know it's really hard to see because my focus does not want to work. And that's the case sometimes when I'm making a good video. So, well, I can't wait to get the funds to buy a new camera. So, anyways, that's the two differences. So put them in the light here, you can see them. That's the difference. The shape's a little different. So that's what we're looking at there. So, which is nice. I kind of get irritated when companies reuse the same mold, because it just kind of, I don't know. I mean, we pay a lot of money for these figures, and I think it's a ripoff that they reuse some things and just like put like some weird extra layer of paint on there to make it look like it's entirely different, but it's really not. But Todd doesn't do that. Every figure is unique. Although I will say, now that we're getting to the Thomas Wayne Batman here, is his Desert Eagles, or the Deagle, I like to call it, are the same. They are the same Desert Eagles that Red Hood comes with. Which, like I said, that's totally fine, because both these characters use Desert Eagles. So, there's really nothing to complain there. I did give him this assault, this little submachine gun. I I thought the two pistols just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? This is like the Punisher Batman. So I thought it would look cooler, you know, with this. So I add that on there. I like to add stuff because sometimes I'm just not satisfied with just the little equipment we get with some figures. But anyways, comparing this Batman to Arkham City, the kind of almost have the same gray. This one has more, this is more of a, like a darker, fleshed out gray, and this one's more of a, I say it has a tad little blue in it. And the gauntlets are definitely a lot cooler. They come up a spike like that, you know, very Spawn like. And what I think is cool is, you know, on Batman, normal Batman, he does have three of these blades on his gauntlet. What I like about this gauntlet is the third one is the gauntlet itself, and that's why that design is there. And it's cool. And of course, you know, he has the Spawn spiky shoulder pads, which is awesome. And that was always in the comic books, Flashpoint cartoon, if you ever watched that. And so the articulation's there. The only difference with the articulation, like I said, was the torso rotation, as opposed to the Arkham Knight Batman, where he has the waist rotation, which I thought that was really interesting. So that being said, it's really hard to determine which one's my favorite. All three of these are really good Batmans. I mean, they're pretty top notch. These Batmans are way better than Mattel has ever came out with. And Mattel has been doing these DC figures for years. And it's funny because if you go to Walmart, they're $15.88. And Mattel was always selling them at $19.99. And the sculpts weren't as good. In fact, I can even do another comparison with a Batman and a Mattel Batman, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't own any of the older Mattel figures, they were the last ones to do multiverse before Todd picked up the license to do multiverse now. And they're not that good, and they're actually a lot shorter. They're like probably like to his shoulder, and they're a lot cheaper. And I stopped buying them after a while because they just sucked. Especially a lot of the Suicide Squad figures and Batman v Superman figures. I mean they were disappointing. Honestly, I mean the molds were just weird. And I'm probably gonna do a video on that now that I'm thinking about it, because I have to get it off my mind. So this is an awesome Batman. I really loved it when I first bought it, and I still do love it. But I'm going to go ahead and exit him out, just because, you know, he's the basic Batman. I mean, between these two figures here, he's the basic Batman. You know, there's not much to him. He's got the basic suit on, big gauntlets, you know, awesome Batman. And actually, he goes with Todd's, you know, basic Superman here. So it's pretty perfect, don't you think? Still waiting for a basic Wonder Woman to come out. Then that'll be the Trinity right there. So I'm going to exit those out. That leaves us with Thomas Wayne and Arkham Knight Bruce. So Thomas here. Like the features here are the shoulder pads are awesome because I'm a big fan of Spawn. I love the tiny ears because it's a lot like the Frank Miller Batman. In fact, he pretty much is the Frank Miller Batman, but it's not Bruce Wayne, it's Thomas. Which I think the original design of Tom's, I think that's pretty much what they were going for. So I'm just going to holster his deagle here. Okay. The cape is pretty basic. I mean, it's the length is awesome. I like that. It looks more torn down here than, you know, just having the little tiny, you know, rigid parts. I like that. It looks just a little more torn. Arms are great. He's not as stiff as the Arkham Asylum Batman, which is fine, you know. I like the knee pads. They're pretty, look a little futuristic. The detail is always on point with these figures. I mean, you really can't go wrong. And of course, you know, he has the toe joints there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, Mattel never had those. So there's that one, and then, you know, the super detailed Batman here. And if you look at this cape, I mean, look at that cape. That, I mean, that's really detailed. This is the only Batman that has a cape that looks like this. In fact, this cape looks a lot like the Mafex and Schifigwarts. I know I'm not probably saying that right, but, you know, that's just kind of like how it's spelled. But the Figwarts capes, like the anime-looking capes, that's pretty much what that looks like. Well, yeah, which is fine, you know, it's pretty cool, I guess. But I'm gonna go ahead and between these two, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm a big fan of Thomas Wayne, and I love Flashpoint. But as far as the detail goes, the coloration, I'm gonna have to go with the Arkham Knight Batman. Now this one's actually the most popular out of the three, and I agree, and I know why. I definitely know why. What I don't know is why this Batman doesn't get the praise that it should. I mean, it's the most detailed Batman we've gotten so far. The sculpt is the best. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I love this neck piece, rubber. I mean, it goes back and forth. This is great. Yeah, I mean, the detail is just fantastic, and I don't see a lot of praise for this figure. And the funniest part is I didn't even know they were coming out with this until I saw it at GameStop. So I didn't even see an announcement for this Batman. So he kind of just flies out there in the wind. No one really says much about it. I'm gonna rate it a 7 out of 10. I mean, that's pretty good. 7 out of 10, really? That's probably what I'd say, an 8 out of 10. Thomas is a 7 out of 10, and Arkham Asylum is 6.5 out of 10. That's those are my ratings for these three figures. So, oh man. So yeah, that's what I would. But you know, I'm really happy with this Batman, and I know Todd has a lot of other Batmans. You know, I'm just not. They're just weird Batmans, and I know he's doing. You know, he likes to stand out, but you know, like, I like the regular figures, man. I've always have. I don't care for the Batman who laughs, and I've seen the variant with the wings, and I wasn't even a big fan of the comic book. I mean, it was, it was I guess it was a cool little idea, but it's definitely not nowhere close to my top 10 on the list. It didn't appeal to me, and I'm really into that darker stuff, but I mean, it was just weird. I mean, it was a lot to follow. I mean, there was just so much stuff going on, and I don't know. I didn't pick up on it as a lot of other people did. But anyways, guys, that is my Batman comparison between these three Mcfarlane figures. Now, if you want me to do a Mcfarlane comparison with a Mattel Batman comparison, let me know and I'll do it. I'll probably end up doing it anyways, but just let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if there's anything I left out, let me know, and I'll be sure to go over it again in the next video. So this is Mike Lee Hawkins. Thanks for joining me, and see you on the next one.